Steve, I recently, on Friday, arrived home from an Erasmus Plus visit to the Netherlands. It was a great stay, yeah, and those who welcomed us had really prepared a good 5 days for us. But also, I did some facilitation in English, which is not my native language. Now, is there something to talk about regarding that?
I mean, you must facilitate in English all the time, Sven, even though presumably some weird version of Northern Norwegian is your native tongue.
That's true. So I have some experience, but now I kind of have some thoughts around it, because what do you need to think about as a facilitator? So there's two sides to it. One is that you don't speak the native language, so English is not my native language. But what if the group doesn't speak that language? So you facilitate in English with people who don't have English as the native language. So there are two sides.
Quite often, and I think there's some simple things to bear in mind: tone, pacing, word choice, avoiding idiom or complicated word play, I think is important. And often my observation would be that with groups who don't share a language, often listening can almost be better, because sometimes when we speak the same language, we use the same word and we assume we know what it means, but actually people might be using it in a slightly different way.
I agree, and we talk about this as a kind of a language barrier, but the truth is also that we could speak the same language and never the same understand each other. So it could be a problem anyway, but it becomes quite clear in this situation when I've just come from that trip and have a think about it. But as you say, some advantages: you have to listen more closely. Maybe you should plan for using more time.
I think so. What are your tips for someone who is facilitating in their second language or third language?
Well, you know me, I like to prepare, but I think also just jump into it. But I think the most important thing: prepare to use some more time to ensure that understanding that you need, and also just put it out in the room. English is not my first language, but we'll manage anyway.
Nice.